Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries. What are we talking about today?
Pregnant Sonic.
Pregnant Sonic. Yeah. And only Pregnant Sonic.
Nothing wrong. We all get curious about.
Look it up on TikTok if you don't know what we're talking about. But unfortunately, we're talking about Transformers: Rise of the Beast today.
Oh, I wish it was.
Yeah, we'll be giving more thoughts about the film to the degree to which we have them. My laptop's about to die, so let's make this a quick one. we'll try to get it in before the battery goes out.
Yeah,
or I'll just skip the part where you ask questions and we answer them.
I think we can zip through this.
We'll see. Yeah, we are going to do.
Do you want to do questions first? There's no suspense here.
Nah, they might
Transformers
come up.
movie.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll talk about the movie. We've got some deleted scenes. We'll do a Q&A, and then we'll tease you with next week's even worse movie. And then
I gotta tell us a bunch of beasts who do not have wheels to roll out. That's about where this movie's at. It's like, no, you're a bird. You don't roll out.
Well, he could tell them to max out, right? Because they're
Maximals.
Yeah.
Max out. That would have been better. I like that better. I like that better.
To the max. Come on.
Ooh,
Come on.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess.
Max, the one to watch for HBO.
It's no longer HBO,
It's now
Maximals.
Max,
It's just Max. Arliss, max out.
Optimus Primal just yells promos for 10-year-old HBO programs.
The Idol, max out.
John from Cincinnati, max out.
That's a great one. Oh, what's the one where? Okay, we'll get into that later. All right. So yeah, this movie is a huge disappointment. I think
it is. It's very disappointing.
Transformers, I'm coming to realize, is my least favorite franchise because I've done so many of them, and the worst thing was giving me hope with Bumblebee. Right. That was the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah, I think that's what stings about this one, because it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's just Bumblebee really did try. In addition to the Transformers story, there is this kind of like sweet coming of age human story that is kind of heartfelt, and they do give it some time and attention. And then this one, we're right back to
where we started.
The humans are just there to like grab the MacGuffin, and now all the dialogue is like, "No, get it, come here, run, run." You know, like there's nobody says anything that's more than three letters.
Both of the humans could have been replaced by Transformers. They could have been Brooklyn Bot.
One basically is by the end. Yeah. But yeah, like that. I think that's what's disappointing. Is like if we're not going to get Bayhem. Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't look as confusing, but it doesn't look any better. It's the same kind of CGI sludge, but it's comprehensible.
Yeah,
sludge.
After going back and rewatching Bayformers, like it's ugly and it's weird and it's chaotic, and a lot of the time it doesn't look like anything. But he is really trying for like this big cinematic, epic, huge scale finale.
There's a lot of camera movement. There's a lot of like, oh, it's a real thing in the foreground, but a transformer in the background.
And
he's trying.
And you're going to see a lot of chaos. You're going to see a lot of nonsense, but you are going to see some cool imagery and some crazy stuff that you can't believe.
Some model that he met at a Victoria's Secret shoot is in the foreground going, "Whoa, a transformer!" and Michael Bay's right there, but then he pans up to show you Bumblebee.
It's not as good as like Ambulance, but there is Bayhem to be had, and it's like, okay, if you're not going to do that, then I would like the Bumblebee, like at least then tell me a real story and make it like a real movie. This one, it kind of feels like we're doing neither.
Yeah,
it's not, the action's like mid and not that exciting.
And then, the obligatory universe building that they drop on at the end of it is an all-timer. This is a dark universe.
This is the Hasbro version of the dark universe.
This is 100%. Welcome to my lab. Here's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I'm just gonna jump ahead. We'll spoil it. Like, at the very end.
Let's get in the trailer. Okay, we gotta go. Play the thing.
All right. Laptop style. Let's go.
Enlightened, max out.
The Transformers scour
That was
the
good. I
universe
like it.
seeking the matrix of leadership. The Allspark, the Sun Harvester, with the matrix of leadership again. The Space Bridge, the Seed, Merlin's staff.
Taxi cab confessions inside a transformer.
Yeah.
Now I'm in.
Yeah.
I'd max that out.
Dream on, roll out.
All right, anyways, keep going. Real sex.
And the Bumblebee. But nothing can prepare you for where their desperate search for the key will take them this time.
It's Earth.
It's always Earth.
It's Earth. It's always Earth. There are no planets besides Earth and Cybertron. You fool. You absolute buffoon. Transformers, Rise of the Beasts. After Michael Bay made you feel insane for 10 long years. And Bumblebee made you feel hope again. Get ready to feel nostalgia for a time before live-action Transformers movies. Because when a generic new Skybeam thingy is discovered on Earth of all places...
We don't really dive into it in this one, but this is super guilty of, like, remember the 90s. And I'm not as familiar with the exact chronology of the 80s, so for Bumblebee, I was like, okay, these are all popular 80s songs. But they drop Biggie's Hypnotize in 1994.
Because, like, up until then, they're doing, it's every, like, if you liked backpack rap in the early 90s, it's like you get a De La Soul shout out and then check the rhyme. It's like
if you know all the words to Skilo's I Wish.
Yeah, it's like every one of those songs, exactly what you'd expect, and fine. But then, there's this random shot they're driving across. I think it's like the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan, and you come in with like the most recognizable intro in hip hop.
That sounds
basically.
The most like influenced all the early 2000s sound of rap.
It's completely the wrong era. It's just like, how did they, like, why? Like, if you're gonna put in the time and the effort to put all these other classic songs that are from the right era, why ruin it with this one completely wrong needle drop that feels out of place?
I'm sure it wasn't the only thing. We get into it in the tag. It's not the only thing they screwed up, but very weird because it doesn't sound like 1994 or earlier style of rap at all.
It doesn't recall that era like they're trying to, and that they are very specifically recalling, because there's even a bit, Dominique Fishback, Elena, I think is her character.
Yeah.
She, like, her bit is that she sings to herself when she gets nervous, and they even use era-appropriate songs there. Like, she sings TLC's Waterfalls, which was a 93 or 94
We're saying
song.
they should have gotten Snow to do Transformer.
Yeah.
A remix of Informer.
Boom, boom, down. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good.
What a shame. But anyway, it's a really weird choice.
It'd be like if in Bumblebee they were like, and now Space Hog. We'll do, or what's a good not Nirvana, but Flagpole Sitta in Bumblebee. Anyways, that's
How dare you? How dare you?
Okay, keep going.
I mean, can you believe it? The evil Terrorcons will come to get their precious key.
Get the key!
While the Autobots fight to keep the key.
To preserve the key, no matter the cost.
Protect the key! Guard the key.
Do we have the key?
The key.
But sometimes the reverse happens.
Protect the key.
Noah, get to the key!
We use the Transwarp key to visit young worlds. If you give us this key, tomorrow I will light the beacon.
But don't worry, the rest of the story is told with the same delicate subtlety.
So y'all are robots that transform into cars, even though you're from way out in space. But now there's this key that opens a portal back to your home? Oh, and you know this because there's a beacon light in the sky that I can't see because I'm human.
Everybody got that?
You're saying this thing Unicron eats planets to survive?
Yes.
Are we clear?
All right, so you're a Maximal, y'all are Autobots. What was those things that attacked us earlier?
Terrorcons.
You know what? They should just pull the wiki on one.
This is like if every character was Poochie and like they came from outer space, and when they're off camera, people should be asking, so you're Poochie from outer space and you came from a different place and now you're here?
The Maximals are so proactive. I like that Anthony Ramos, cause it's almost like his dialogue from Hamilton where he's constantly like, tell him what your name is. It's like that again. Like he's just like he's just like the hype man for the
I should have done if I would be very curious to go back through it or to get the script and just search for, so what you're saying is restating the exposition just for our benefit.
Yeah, well, right, because
to get us to the next monkey punching
It
fight.
definitely feels like there were some studio notes where they were concerned that this plot is too confusing for kids. I don't think it is, but I feel like there must have been a meeting about that, because we do have 5 or 6 lines of dialogue where it's just like randomly restating what we already know in case kids got lost.
And I love how the character introductions are usually character enters, says, I am my name.
Yeah, it's like that South Park that they made with AI where everybody just like takes a step forward, say their line. Like maybe this was already written by AI. If any movie I've seen this year was actually already written sneakily by AI and they didn't tell us, it was this one.
I think it was this one. I think there was a polish pass done by Alan ChatGPT.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm the bird. I'm Michelle Yeoh. Okay.
All right, am I done? Okay, keep going.
Wiki on one side of the screen and play all the monkey punching on the other. Deal?
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Meet Noah. He's Miles Morales. That's it. That's the character.
So
Noah
pause.
is a dedicated
We forgot to
older
point it
brother
out,
from
but the mom is the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
actually Miles Morales' mom.
Yeah, so should have put that in. But anyways, keep going.
older brother from Brooklyn.
You're my brother from Wilson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.
Elena is a brilliant museum intern from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, all right? East New York all day.
He represents Brooklyn while she was raised out in Brooklyn.
I'm from Bushwick.
I'm never leaving Brooklyn again.
Brooklyn, baby!
Yes, Brooklyn.
I was raised out in Brooklyn.
Elena is armed with knowledge about literally every field, from paleontology
That's a good one, but the Ankylosaurus, also armored dinosaur.
to all of art history.
The Da Vinci sketch is legit. Roman vase. Sinner's Greek curse tablet, it would be expensive, but it's a fake. I think it might be Aztec or Inca.
To masonry,
That stonework is 17th century.
to hieroglyphics,
This symbol is definitely not hieroglyphic.
to the geographical layout of Cusco, Peru, somehow.
That's Santo Domingo. The Spanish built it on top of an old Inca temple. And it's my first time
Pause.
leaving New York.
I've liked Dominique Fishback in pretty much every other thing I've
Yeah,
ever seen her in. She's
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Judas and the Black
She was
Messiah.
great. Swarm this year. She was
that
really good.
what was that? David, the Wire guy made that with Oscar Isaac. Made like Show Me a Hero.
Show Me a Hero.
I was like, wow, she's one to watch. And,
She's
I mean,
great,
cash that check, but bad.
it's
It's just bad. There's nothing she could do about it.
It's not a character.
Yeah.
She's literally like Robert Langdon. Wherever they go, she's just like, oh, the two pyramids. Like, what? Who cares? Like, you don't need to put all the. Nobody's watching a Transformers movie for the puzzles.
Right.
And I didn't understand why we spent so much time on that stuff. Like, it thought it was Uncharted or something. And it's like, no, I don't.
And they spent so much time with Noah and the
cares?
little brother. And if she's just there to spout out fun facts, like she could be a Transformer, she could voice a Transformer, or just make Noah, he's like a fired paleontologist or something, and he can know things. There was nothing for either. There was half a human character split between two human characters.
Those two needed like a bit, you know?
No,
Like
their bit was they're both from Brooklyn.
Right,
see.
but that's not a bit. Like they needed.
No, they're
like,
from Brooklyn, New
Brooklyn,
York,
East
New York
New York.
City, East New York.
Like I like they needed a game, you know, like an improv. Like they needed like a premise. Like they needed like what is their relationship and why are they on this adventure together and like what is their whole deal? There's nothing.
She had to get this bowl of pasta to the president.
Yeah, it's just like they're just
They
there.
got
Like
nothing.
there's a scene literally where the Transformers are like, "You guys want to come?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, should we? All right, yeah, I guess it's our planet." And it's like, no,
they
that's
should come,
not.
they should come. Okay, fine.
That's not
they
how
can
story. That's really like not how storytelling
better way.
works. Like,
It's
you
gotta
got
be
they
a
got to
better
feel compelled. They need to go on that adventure.
All right, keep going.
Hang on, is she carbon dating now? She's an intern. Keeping them safe
Why give
is
them dialogue that
Mirage,
says
a
she's an
Transformer
intern if
voiced by
she's
professional
this-
tattoo haver Pete Davidson. He's more desperate for human approval than those dolphins they train to predict the Super Bowl.
There you go. Now we're friends. But what about for friendship?
In a character that aimed for a combination of Bugs Bunny and The Mask. But while he may not be funny, he is smoking.
I love this part.
Make sure you mount the voice box real good, too. You don't want him coming back again.
Your boy is back!
Oh, Watch the evil planet-eating Unicron
Never
float
sympathized
around
with Kanye this
evilly while he outsources his villainy to the evil Scourge, who will outsource his villainy to a sad pack of dogs.
Kill the other human.
Our only hope is
Pause.
Optimus Prime.
I saw online they're referring to those little guys as scorpions. I think they're like those are supposed to be transforming scorpions. They look. I agree with you. Dogs. I thought like they were supposed to be like
They
attack
read
dogs.
to me as attack dogs, and it was like a lot of bureaucracy in the evil con.
But they're
management.
literally called like scorpions or something. Like they're supposed to be bug-like, I guess.
I have no sense of what the stakes were. The key can stop Unicron.
The key. Oh no! It is the exact cosmic key.
I already regret asking.
It's the cosmic key for Masters of the Universe. It's the exact same. The key. It's the same key.
The Gwildor.
It opens portals to anywhere in
anywhere
space time.
Okay.
So the idea
and they've
is
lost Transformatron, so they need to get back to
Cybertron.
Shut up! I don't care.
So the idea is if Unicron had the key, he could just portal to any planet in the universe and eat it.
Okay.
Whereas otherwise he has to like
slowly float there.
Slowly float there the long way. and it takes forever. And he could starve before he reaches the next world he wants to devour. No, seriously, they have Coleman Domingo do a lot of dialogue where it's like, I'm starving.
So they have to lay out snacks for him to get from one planet to the next?
You were saying that in a humorous tone of voice, but that is exactly the plot of this movie. It's Scourge, Peter Dinklage. Yeah. Scourge has to fly around the universe and like find worlds that are close enough for Unicron to devour before he wastes away or dies of starvation or whatever.
So he's like Ezra Miller's snack guy.
Yeah, exactly. and so that's why they want the transwarp key, because then they could just portal, then they could just fast travel around the. And that's why it's also you got to save Earth, and because he could eat Earth, and then he could portal right to Cybertron and eat Cybertron.
Of course he could.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's also why Optimus.
Well, there you go.
But that's also why Optimus Prime and the Autobots want the transwarp key, because then they could bring themselves back to Cybertron. They have no way of getting home. They're stranded here. If you'll recall Bumblebee.
I feel bad because there must be something good about Transformers because it's got a lot of fans. Joe Starr's one of them.
Yeah.
I like the original movie for being just a psychedelic freak show murder.
The classic, it's got that same kind of like core anime storytelling that is very appealing. Like Transformers stories, like they start, there's some new foe or Megatron got some power up or whatever, and then they fight, the Transformers, the Autobots lose, but then they have to go find a MacGuffin, a secret, a power-up that they unlock that makes them more powerful for the final showdown. So you could keep playing that plot out forever.
I just wish it looked better. If that's the case, if it's just like a shonen anime of like, I'm going to get strong and I'm going to fight you. No, you're not. Yeah, let's fight. Yeah. Like, that's fine. I love that shit. But it has to look cool, too.
Right.
Like,
I think
for that to work.
That's what we always miss is... I feel like we've now gotten... There was a Transformers movie that sort of nailed the storytelling. There have been... Michael Bay sometimes almost got to where the action was okay. If we could just get all these disparate elements together in one movie, it could work.
What if we added another toy that's never had a good movie made about it? How about that? Well, let's continue and see where that goes.
Yeah.
But years of being stranded on Earth have turned him into the racist uncle the other Autobots tolerate at family gatherings.
You brought a human here? I should have known better than to rely on humans.
He's joined by RC, a motorcycle armed with NSA government surveillance powers.
Private Noah Diaz, U.S. Army, multiple commendations.
She seems fun and not at all like a cop. Bumblebee, who is also there. They're joined by the Maximals, the kind of toy you get when you ask Mom for Dinobots, but she says you already have Dinobots at home. Join these transforming robo-animals that the movie forgets can transform into the very final battle.
Talk about forgets. And they did this again with the dinosaurs in... I don't care. The other Transformers movie that didn't have enough dinosaurs but promised dinosaurs.
Age of Extinction,
Thank you.
Folks. Age of Extinction.
But I will say that like that was seemingly the selling point of this movie. Rise of the Beasts. You're gonna go into the Beast Land. You're gonna have a Beast War.
It's bizarre.
I could tell you Optimus Primal. I could tell you Bird Lady.
Air Razor.
I don't think any of the other Beastbots had a single line.
No,
maybe
there's a
two?
Jaguar guy and a Rhino guy, but they don't really get anything to do. And so we meet the Maximals at the very, very first. There's an cold open where we meet the Maximals and we watch them get their ass kicked by Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like 3-minute long scene, barely even an action scene. They then disappear from the film for a full hour, where we don't see a single Maximal or find out anything going on with them.
They show up in Peru, as you do.
Then they're only in the very last climactic action scene, and we only see them transform, like they turn in from their beast form into...
No, they have another action scene where they get smoked again by Scourge,
right?
Where they don't transform.
No, but
they forget that they can do that.
The very last action scene in the movie is the first and only time we see them actually turn into robots from Beast, which is
ballers, max out.
Yeah, the whole selling point, like. Why? If this is the Beast movie, they should be all over this thing, right? Like, why are they holding back now?
There's no reason to hold back the Beast Wars.
Yeah,
the Beast Wars.
It is the same thing as Age of Extinction, where it's like, no, Grimlock should be the star of this movie. What are you doing?
It's Optimus versus Optimus Primal. Like, don't muddy the waters with anything else. Like, there's animal Transformers, and they have to fight the truck.
It seems obvious that the Maximals would be the stars of this movie because that's the big thing you're introducing.
Yeah.
I don't get why you would like dribble them in at the end, because it's like, oh, but next time we're gonna blow the doors off, and it's like there's not even gonna be a next time now because you blew it.
Yeah.
You know? Got to reboot again. Did you learn nothing from the Rise of Cobra?
They're gonna have to reboot again. They are rebooting again with Hemsworth There's an animated.
Right, they're
CG
doing the
one.
animated one, yeah.
We'll see. All right, keep going.
Maximize!
But don't worry, they'll get more to do in the sequel. What do you mean, if this even gets a sequel? What do you mean if movies even exist 2 years from now? We're kickstarting the Hasbronaverse, bro.
We're in the middle of an ongoing war, and we'd love to have you join the fight. You and your whole team.
See? Studio wouldn't promise a franchise that they end up bailing on. It'd be total chaos.
Pause.
Thrill has no...
Going back through the through those options, I was particularly tickled by the King Arthur one, where they're like, "It's a round table." That's good. And then there's another.
Wait for it. Yeah, that one's coming back.
The latest of the endless Robin Hood attempts. That also ended with a good one where they look over at a tree line and they go, "The forest, Sherwood Forest."
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
You're not getting another one, guys.
It's not happening.
It's never happening.
The original Mario movie has a good one where the princesses show up dressed like Rambo, and with like aliens level flamethrower guns.
Yeah.
Like, we have to go back.
I mean, the greatest of all time, Masters of the Universe. Skeletor pops up. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Never came.
No. Well, never say never.
Frank Langella, bring him back out. 90-year-old. Canceled.
We'll
Frank
see how
Langella.
the strike goes with AI. We might have Frank Langella movies
Langella
for
Skeletor
eternity.
forever. Yeah.
He's actually in The Flash. All right, keep going.
What gets a power suit? His friend's
Pause. If you
corpse
peek really
and a
closely
handgun,
at one of the orbs, if you zoom in on an orb, you can see Frank.
Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella.
Yeah, you can see them both.
Just
there.
like, what are we doing here? This is.
They're very confused.
I don't even. Are we DC? Is this? I thought we were.
There's your clue for next week.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
friend's corpse and a handgun made out of his friend's
Just don't ask what part of my body it came from.
Huh. Kind of Cronenbergish for a kid's movie.
Work friends? You've been inside me. That's just engine oil.
What is this, Crash?
The reshaping of the human body.
Love that we got that in there.
Yeah.
Once Noah gets his fresh new corpse suit, watch a human finally join the fight alongside the Transformers, rather than limply firing an AR-15 at a Decepticon Tyrese style.
Save yourself.
So, what?
Even though he still needs a lot of help. Why do they even bring humans along at all? Humans can't fight a metal gorilla. Humans can't even fight a normal gorilla. I mean, I could, but that's not a discussion y'all ready to have.
Pause.
So take...
Like, they go to all this trouble. They spend half the movie setting up Noah getting a suit made out of his friend that now he can fight on the level of a Transformer. He, a human, gets to save Optimus Prime at the end, but then he can't actually do it, and he misses him, and you need the gorilla to come. What's the point of that?
It's weird because the theme of the film is like, Noah, you gotta work together. You're too much of a, you're trying to do it all on your own shoulders.
Humans and Autobots have been trying to save themselves, but they should be working together against their common foe.
And the way he resolves that and resolves that dramatic tension is by wearing the corpse of his dead friend so he can be strong enough to do it by himself. Still not strong enough.
He still can't.
He still doesn't really do anything.
It just undermines, like, for no real, I guess, dramatic tension in that moment if you think Optimus Prime is going to die and then Ron Perlman saves him. I don't know.
Boy.
Okay. Doesn't work. Like, it would have been a lot more satisfying emotionally if Anthony Ramos just gets to save him. I mean, it wouldn't be emotionally satisfying because it's a bad movie, but...
And he and Optimus probably have two words together that aren't like
human. Yeah, Optimus is really like I get the arc is he realizes
he has an arc, which is
it's
something.
okay to work
That's more
with
than
humans,
he usually gets.
But they lay it on a little thick to where he's like, oh, he's like he really, it feels like Richie in the Bear. Where it's like, is this okay? I don't
keep going.
I don't think you should say stuff like that.
A promotional trip down to beautiful Peru. Enjoy the lovely scenery and charming local color. Get to know the people and their ancient culture while exploring the fascinating Incan villages and ruins that dot the entire landscape of the country's serene sacred valley. Ah, Peru.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and watch robots pull each other's spines out with their bare hands.
I did not see this when I was there. Really violent. Like the fact that they're robots really what lets you get away with it.
That's my job.
Brutal.
Give me your face. Starring in the fights, Optimus and the Black Messiah, already dating Penelope Pitstop, Prime Day, Kong Perlman, I drink and I explode things. Like and subscribe. This is what peak performance looks like.
Ah, the French champagne.
And
There is more to them than meets the eye.
they said the thing. We fought a zoo.
It's very good.
I think, pause, we kind of used that before with one of the dumb Harry Potter movies where he brought a zoo. But I feel like
Yeah, that's one of those fantastic.
we all love referencing We Bought a Zoo. One of the all-time great movie titles.
Still can't believe they bought that freaking zoo.
What do you think happened at the zoo after they bought it? I guess I have to watch the film.
They run it.
Never did.
Then it's their zoo.
Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
I just read that
now he
Matt
owns a
Damon
zoo.
turned down Avatar, and he would have gotten profit participation in that movie if he had signed on.
Wow. To do We Bought a Zoo?
To do, I mean, the dates maybe line up. Instead, he could have bought a zoo. Is all I'm saying with that money.
I mean, that is what it's Cameron Crowe. Did We Bought a Zoo? I get why you'd be
Yeah.
like, this guy buys a zoo. That sounds charming.
All right.
But Jerry Maguire might not have sounded like much on the page.
What was that other zoo movie? I'll get back to you on
The
that.
Zookeeper with Kevin James. Kevin James
yes,
is the zookeeper.
No, different one, but it was like a prestige. I think Robert Pattinson was worked in a zoo.
Oh, it's
or a
Water for
circus.
Elephants.
Yes, yeah, the Zooniverse.
Yeah, cinematic Zooniverse. Yeah,
we're gonna do that next week. Sorry,
Dumbo. Get Dumbo in there.
Keep going.
Okay, what are the rules?
Bros before hoes.
Okay, that phrase didn't gain popularity until the mid-2000s. Though you could argue that the first use of the phrase was in Common Sense's song In My Own World in 1994, the same year this film takes place. However, that album didn't release until October. And in this scene, you can clearly see the calendar is set to June 1994. And this is why nobody wants to talk to me at parties.
Yeah.
I hope someone got fired for that blunder. Okay, let's do questions first because I'm truly about to lose power on this old.
I would like to say, Common does not get credit for coining Bros Before Hoes. Congratulations to Common. What a contribution.
That's huge, but I'll bet it was like in the ether of the 90s before it showed up in that song.
Perhaps,
like they probably weren't the first scribe to say,
I feel like maybe
what rhymes with bros?
Common Sense might have been.
I'm a rap artist.
Yeah.
What could I rhyme with bro? Okay, let's see. So, Evan J. Pretzer asks, if you could cross this franchise or G.I. Joe with a completely nonsensical pairing, what would you pick? Or a good one? I say Friday the 13th. What would you pair Transformers with? Everyone says Fast and the Furious.
I mean, yeah, like it does seem like Fast and the Furious is like the most obvious one. I would also say though, I think that you could do Expendables. Like I think that like Expendables, because Expendables is so violent as well, like it almost makes sense. Like the Transformers and the Expendables fight in a similar way, where it's just like I'm going to obliterate you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you've got me relating it to anime. I think like if it's a Gundam thing, like let's get it just a legit mech versus Transformer.
Oh yeah.
They go to Japan and they have to fight just robots. Just fight the robots.
I'm into that. Yeah.
Adam Hulbert, thoughts on the animated movie coming up with Hemsworth voicing Optimus? I feel we're overdue for a No Humans movie by now. Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go, I think. Like, let's give the people what they want. But if they're not humans, then why would they ever turn into a truck and or boombox or helicopter? Yes.
At some point, them coming to Earth is kind of crucial because otherwise the transforming into Earth objects doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying no humans. I just feel like we tend to get bogged down in human world, whereas like I think the original like the 80s animated movie is like that's the level of humans. Like they're humans around, but they're not the center.
Right.
I think they're going on fishing.
From what I understand, they're going full like space opera with this one.
Yes,
it's different.
It's like Fall of Cybertron, so it's in space.
We'll check it out. Let's see. Benzai 10 Halo, you feel fair people. If you have any updates about the SAG-AFTRA strike, then please let us know. As far as I know, there are no. I mean, The Rock made a huge donation, which is great. The People's Champ. Thank you, Rock.
That's awesome. No, there's no updates because the AMPTP is not meeting. They're like what we're hearing, the rumors, the word on the street. I have no official backing on this, but like is like Netflix, especially in the streamers, they don't mind dragging this out. They're willing to give it until towards the end of the year. If you think about it, for the studios, for like Paramount, Disney, for those companies, Sony. they want to end the strike quickly. They've got movies they want to bring out into theaters. They need to pad
people
their
to promote
streaming
them.
services. They want to get acting promotion back. Exactly. But for like Netflix and Amazon and Apple, first of all, hugely deep pockets. They can just wait. And they're saving money right now. They can make money. They can make shows in Korea and Canada and reality shows. And meanwhile, all the money that they would be paying actors and showrunners to make new content, they just get to save it. Wall Street kind of likes that.
Yeah.
So they're not in the same hustle as like Disney. Like Disney would love to resolve this tomorrow because they've got movies and content they want to bring out. They don't have other businesses to fall back on.
Well, parks, cruises.
Right, but not in the way like Apple. Like Apple's like Amazon.
Oh, this is a rounding error for Apple.
Yeah, like they're not even, that's not even their primary thing that they do. And Netflix, they've got a pipeline of content. They can sit on what they've already got for years.
But then I imagine there's places like Peacock or I guess NBC,
right,
whatever, who are probably sweating bullets because like they can't afford to pay anymore because they're already on fire.
They already threw away the cable market. Ad rates are drying up. Nobody's advertising right now. So yeah, those companies are in a huge pinch. Yeah. It's just they're in this organization with Netflix that's fine to drag its feet. So that's what we're hearing is that the streamers are the ones that are really holding everything up, and the studios are in a much more
just ruined everything.
Delicate position. Yeah,
streaming has ruined truly everything.
Streaming kind of we had this great business model, cable and carriage deals, and everything kind of was paid for.
Way to go, Flickster.
And it was this 50, 60-year-old business model that was messy but worked. And then we threw all of that away, and now streaming is broken.
We want our content.
Yeah,
and we want it now.
But streaming is just like fundamentally broken. Yeah. So
Benjamin Abramowitz writes, speaking of Bayformers, have you ever considered doing a trailer for every Michael Bay movie? Yes, and we should.
We definitely
I don't want to rewatch. Can we do every Michael Bay movie minus Transformers? Or maybe Lon will watch all the Transformers?
I'll cover those.
Great.
That's fine.
Great.
I like Michael Bay movies.
No, me too. Honestly, I'm done with this franchise.
I sort of celebrate the whole catalog at this point.
Let's see.
But it's Bad Boys 2 just had an anniversary. I think it's just turned 10. Bad Boys 2.
This is a good one.
Even more.
James Bunt, with Hollywood shutting down, what movie getting an honest trailer would be a cry for help if you have to do it? What's our blink twice if you're being held hostage honest trailer?
We've sort of done them.
Yeah,
all.
right.
Like next week, I feel like is as close as we come.
I've gotten to do all my favorite movies that I've loved to go back to, so it would just have to. God, I don't even know. I mean, talk to us 6 months from now when movies stop coming out. We'll let you know then. We'll be sending
Garden State. I feel like that would be my.
No, I want to rip that a new one, a new giant hole to scream into.
Good boy.
All right, so let's end with this. Reynard City Update Channel. What recent director would be a good Transformer voice? Nikolai says.
Like how Orson Welles.
Who should we hand it over to? No, not voice. Well,
who would voice
director.
a Transformer?
No, what director? I'm choosing to interpret it as what director should get the reins of this franchise.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking Orson Welles voices Unicron. Yeah. What director should do a Transformer? I'm debating. Do we give a serious answer or do we give a? Give a fun? I mean, I'm tempted to say because she just nailed a toy adaptation.
Greta Gerwig.
What would Gerwig do with the Transformers?
What would Gerwig do?
That's I think Gerwig Bomba is my.
You're gonna turn her into the toy director.
I want her to be we put her on in charge of all the toy adaptations. She'll do Stretch Armstrong, Hot Wheels. She could take over Hot Wheels from J.J. Abrams.
I would do whoever made Extraction 2. I think you need a really good action director.
Sam Hargrave.
Sam Hargrave, you're up.
Extraction 2 rules.
Yeah, whoever can do because I figured the John Wick people have enough on their plate.
Yeah, Chad Stahelski's very busy.
But Extraction 2 was so good.
When he takes that enormous minigun that looks like it's too big for a human to lift.
He's a human transformer. And it's Hemsworth who's already in the Transformers franchise.
He's on a boat.
A train.
He's on a train.
Yeah.
And he picks up this minigun that it is the size of him. It looks like it weighs 2 tons.
Yeah.
And he just walks out of it into an open air part of the train and uses it to shoot down a helicopter.
A couple helicopters.
But just casually.
So casually. This is what
it's like
the Halo show should have been.
Yeah, it's like Schwarzenegger mid-'80s, like peak Schwarzenegger stuff.
My favorite part is when he gets hit with a Molotov cocktail and he blocks it with his arm, and his arm's on fire. So now he just has a firearm, and he's just punching people with his firearm. It's so good.
Sweet.
Mwah.
It's really
Watch
sweet.
Extraction 2 if you haven't.
It was really cool.
All right, so my computers, we're done with this. Let's do some deleted scenes if we got them.
Starring 10 gigabytes of Ramos, Meters Morales, The Hate You Drive, Swarm Bodies, Beep Davidson, Bumble Pete, Cullen All Cars, Truck Turner, Magabots. There's more than one way to lose a monkey house. A killer gorilla, Tinian Canister, Space Smithers, Megapawn. Alana Scourge always slays his debts. Wait, a girl transformer? Is that even allowed? Yao MTV Flaps, Bird Blocks, Hawk Girl, Crouching Tiger Disguised Robot, Captain Planet, Hungry Cosmos. Begun, the Beast Wars have. Everybody's got some key to hide, except for me and my monkey.
Hell yeah.
Age together, yawn. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Fight Them. Wow, a mostly empty warehouse. I can't think of anything that might get a kid more excited to see a movie than the promise of a slightly fuller warehouse. Well, maybe if they have some random guy's business card. Sold. Hey, Mirage, buddy, those are the kinds of cars with people inside them. You just killed a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
There you go. So, yeah, I think just one last reflection on the G.I. Joe of it all. Would it have been better if they opened up the thing and The Rock and Channing Tatum were standing there? I'm trying to think of who else was a G.I. Joe. Bruce Willis.
Well,
no.
yeah.
CGI, the CGI.
I think Marlon Wayans is the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's who you need. No, it's like I don't know G.I. Joe that well.
You needed more than what they got, that's for sure.
But like I feel like, because here's what I would say: there are ninjas who don't show their face in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Why not have them?
Oh yeah, there was a whole movie about Snake Eyes.
Why not have them fighting?
Yeah, where's Henry Golding?
You don't even need Henry Golding to show up. You don't need to do casting because you could just cover their face, and then whoever you cast as those characters, they were there.
Yeah, like the Shazam ending where everyone's cut off at the neck.
Yeah,
but they're all in their G.I. Joe suits.
G.I. Joe, they also have they have iconic vehicles and weapons. They're toys. You fill that warehouse with iconography, so at least there's something that is like, oh my god, they have this whole G.I. Joe verse ready to go. No. This is literally like kids will be excited by the name G.I. Joe and Doug Stamper from House of Cards, and like, look,
kids love Stamper.
Yeah, Michael Kelly's a great character actor. Kids love Stamper, but like, it was nothing. It was just like, if you're going to try to get me excited about another movie, like, actually try. Don't just like, hey, maybe we'll make another one. Like, yeah, I know. If this does well, you'll make another one. I know.
We'll be there for the next one. There won't be a next one.
I really don't. Like, they would be, after how this one did.
We'll go back to the drawing board.
I don't think they would want to go now make a combined Transformers G.I. Joe movie in this world.
Yeah. Although we are creeping like the X-Men slowly towards early 2000s nostalgia bait. Because we did the 80s, they did the 90s, and now there's going to be like...
I just feel like
waking up to Limp Bizkit, like, oh no!
I think you do full reboot. I think you give it a few years, and then you just restart Transformers from the beginning. I don't think there's any salvaging this.
Probably for the best. As will we. Look, we gave you... I think I gave away what next week's trailer was in the middle of the commentary. So if you're just skipping ahead to
just look at my face.
Cheat, we're doing Pregnant Sonic next week. That's next week's Sonic's trailer.
Listen, Pregnant Sonic's full of life. There's nothing wrong with being curious about it.
I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad who stepped up. That's your clue for next week. We'll see you then right here on Honest Trailer Commentaries. Bye-bye.